Greetings, guys, and welcome to another episode of CEO Chatter Live. I'm your hostess, Fancy, and CEO and publisher, whatever you want to call it, of Swagger Magazine. So today I have a special guest with me. I think this is really gonna interest a lot of you, especially those of you who have businesses, and particularly those of you who are product providers, because I know that getting more placement for your products is always it's helpful. Of course, it helps with sales. So who doesn't dream of that? It's always good to have your own location, like your website or your Shopify store or whatever the case may be. But you also want to make certain that you're in some other retail locations as well. So before I bring my guest in the comments, if you all are watching, make certain that you drop where you're watching from in the chat in the comments. And then also, if you have some business friends, business associates, business besties, whatever you want to call them, tag them and let them know that we're live now, because they may have questions as well, especially if they have something like a skincare brand, because Tammy is going to be dropping some jewels as we're discussing how everything works. So I'm going to go ahead and bring her in and let her introduce herself. Just a second. Greetings.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm great. So, guys, this is Tami Curry. She is the CEO of IMat Dream, which is a cruelty-free hair, skincare, and body care brand. And I'm going to let her tell you all more about herself, because I think that it's always best if the guests introduce themselves, because they do it much better than I can. So, Tami, tell our audience a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Absolutely. First, thank you so much for having me on Swagger, your Swagger podcast. I really appreciate that. I am Tami Curry, and I am a single mom of 4 children. I'm originally from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I currently reside in the Houston area, where our headquarters are located at. I'm a curator of IMat Dream brand, where we do have cruelty. All our products are cruelty free, as well as paraben free. And so it's basically doesn't have those potentially harmful ingredients inside our brand, inside our products. 97% of the brand consists of goat milk products, which gives you that extra, those vitamins and those nutrients and minerals that you need for your skin, hair, and body. And so, yeah.
And look, first, I realized I didn't give myself a chance to share. But number 2, I did not realize you were from Baton Rouge. I live in Baton Rouge.
But
Did you
born
know
and
that?
raised.
Okay, look, I'm originally from Mississippi, but I've been here about 12 years off and on. So, okay, that is really cool to see somebody from Baton Rouge, like, okay, in Walmart.com. Come on now. So, we're going to get
Baton
to that.
Rouge.
We're going to get to that in just a minute. But my next question is, like, what inspired IMat Dream? Like, what did you have in mind initially, and then how did this come about?
Well, for me, honestly, being at I guess a turning point, you could say, in my life, or a crossroad in my life, where I felt like I wasn't living my true purpose. And so that's something that I've always wanted to do, just not sure how to navigate it and how to find what that was. And so that's kind of, I'm gonna give you the gist of it. That's kind of ignited the reason behind curating IMat Dream brand, is just not feeling like I had a purpose in the world and how I showed up, and just understanding and learning that money doesn't make you happy, right? It is a resource, but however, it's not a source to your happiness. And so we do believe that self-care should be an investment, as opposed to looked at as an expense. And so that was one reason why it was curated.
I love all of that. And also, this is like the third time this week that I have heard you called it a resource, but I also heard someone say, it's a tool. So, and then
Yes.
I heard someone just yesterday after that say something about it being a tool. So I was like, okay, I don't know why this message keep coming to me, but hey, y'all, that's a nugget that you could take away that probably wasn't even intentional, but I think that we all need to take a minute and, observe
Absolutely.
as well.
Absolutely.
So what was it like getting started?
So in business, it has those moments, you're up, you're down. So in the beginning, of course, it still is now, but in the beginning it was very exciting, exhilarating. I remember spending 72 hours, like multiple times straight up, just creating and researching the brand and what I wanted it to look like, and to determine how I wanted us to show up in retail, in the world, really. So it's very tough. And like I say, having 4 children and being a single mom, that makes it even a little bit more challenging. But I love it. It's, I'm very passionate about my brand. And so it's very much worth it. So I would tell anybody that who's interested in curating, whether it's in business, whether in beauty, or whatever industry that you're interested in, you're going to have those moments, those up and down moments. And it's just always important to take some time for yourself and to reset.
Right. So what did you do before opening your business? And were there any skills that you took away from that and now utilize in IMat?
Yes. So I come from the property management industry. And so I resigned in property management about maybe 3.5 years ago. And since then, I've been a full-time entrepreneur. And so utilizing my property management background definitely helped me transfer those skills over in terms of marketing, in terms of managing teams and multiple properties and assets and things of that nature. Also being able to show up in the, in terms of customer service and being in the field with the people and engaging with them, solving their problems and offering solutions to them. And so being able to do that towards the last part of my career in property management, I was able to work in the corporate office. And, because I've always wanted to work in a corporate office, right? I'm like, I'm going to work in a corporate office one day. And so I just was so focused in on it. And it was really mostly to kind of honestly prove a point, like, hey, I deserve to be here, just like anyone else. And so getting there, I was able to work in marketing, accounting, due diligence, acquisitions, and just pretty much everywhere in the corporate field, and also being a trainer. So being able to be exposed to those things, I was able to transfer to IMat Dream brand.
Got you. And I apologize for looking down. I don't know why, but
You're
it's
fine.
whenever I go live, Facebook does not notify me, but it notifies me every time somebody else goes live. So I've been trying to share the broadcast. I've just been able to successfully do so. So
no, that's fine. If you need to take a moment, Fancy, to do that, I'm here with you. I'm not going anywhere, girl.
But I'm good though. So you now have a partnership with Walmart.com. Congratulations on that. So how did that come about?
Well, it's a very long-winded, loaded question. So like I was telling you, I've got some bullet points with me today. It's going to include things that I really want everyone to know and to share with them. So I have these bullet points, so I'm not going to go to, just for the essence of time's sake, right? And so the first thing that I would say, whether you're wanting to partner with Walmart or whatever retail or anything that you do, having the mindset, an abundance mindset, an attitude of gratitude, a positive mindset that gives you that clarity and that vision that you need to curate whatever you want to curate. You know what I'm saying? To be able to receive additional resources and information that you might need to help pivot your brand. So first thing I would say is to make sure that is strong, in terms of having a positive mindset. The second thing I would say to do is to research where you want to show up in the industry. What is it that you're offering? And who are you offering it to? And so one thing about retail, specifically, we're going to stick with Walmart.com. Of course, you have to have a tangible item or a product that is not customizable. And the reason why they want it to be non-customizable, because let's say you get an influx of orders, they're not going to be waiting on you to sit there and customize any products. One thing about Walmart, and I say it all the time, you can get 50 orders a day. They want each 50 order out same day. Like, they don't play when it comes to that. So I love that about that partnership. And it kind of, and it definitely holds me accountable as well to make sure everybody's getting their products in time. Another thing that I would say, once you've figured out what tangible product you're wanting to do, make sure you register your products. Register your products. If you wanted to get on the shelf, if you wanted to sell online, whatever your your goal is to do, you want to just make sure you register your product and register your brand and have your brand legally set up, the structure set up. It needs to be at least a corporation or LLC. It cannot be a sole proprietorship or anything like that. So you want to make sure you have that set up correctly as well with the state and city, your local ordinances. So once you do that, insure your products. I'm not sure if I mentioned that just yet, but just insure your products and, make sure, whatever policy that you have on your brand, that your products are underneath that policy as well. So when you are registering your products, you want to go to, there's a website you'll actually go to, and you're registering for your UPC codes and your barcodes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so you would go to gs1.org. I want to say it's gs1.org. I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, gs1.org. And having more than one product is also great. It's actually even better because retailers want, more stuff that they'll be able to offer to their customers as well. So having more than one product is really great. And so once you do all of that and you have all your legal documents in place, you upload it. You do an application process, of course, and you upload it to the dashboard so they could review and see what it is that you're offering. They will do research, like a background on your company, to make sure everything is legally set up properly. And my approval didn't take very long at all. So happy to know that it didn't take long at all. So once that was approved, you're able to have to upload all your products and stuff like that.
Got you.
Very exciting. Actually, I love it.
Those are some good tips. And I definitely didn't know that about like the order fulfillment within 1 day. So, those are some things I think people really need to know that you shared.
Yes.
And also, guys, I dropped the website. I hope I got it right. gs1.org in the chat. And then I'll also be starting to have it in the show notes too, as well as those tips so that you all could just pull those straight out and go directly to them. So, what has been the most challenging aspect of your business for you, and how did you overcome it?
That's a great question. So the most challenging that I would say has been for me is, of course, I'm going to always say just being a mother of 4, and 3 of them, which are teenagers, right? And so I also have a toddler.
Oh, wow.
So just being able to keep up with everything and make sure everything is organized and plan ahead. That way I'm able to participate in what they're doing in school, which is a blessing. I'm very blessed to be able to participate in those things. But the most challenging, I would say, for me is just maintaining it all, and a lot of times I get so, I talk about self-care 100%. When you get so locked in though, in your business and your brand and developing it, and, you're so passionate about it, it's very easy to stay at the desk for hours on end and not realizing, like, wait a minute, I need to eat. I need to take a break. And so I have those reminders around me, like, hey, did you take a break? You need to eat. And so I budgeted my nap times too.
That makes sense. I'm big on naps too.
Yes, I have to budget my naps. It's just like keeping staying grounded. Is what helps me in those challenging moments. But it's worth all of it.
Yeah. And I got 3 teenagers, 2 teenagers and a 20-something-year-old. So I totally get it. It can be a handful juggling everything. I'm not even going to tell you about how I ended up leaving my daughter one time and driving off from the store. I'm just like, it has just been that crazy at times, when you get so focused on stuff. And even when you mention those 72-hour days, days when we're sitting there at the computer and totally forget about things. Like, people don't realize how often we do those sort of things. But like you said, self-care is important. And then we have to, kind of reel yourself back in and remind yourself, like, practice what you preach. So I totally get that.
Absolutely. It's going to be a lot of sacrifice. And so being open to that and knowing, okay, some things you may have to scale back on. So that means you may not be able to go out every weekend or, during the week. If you locked in, you're locked in. And so it's always good to have a strong support system. That way, when I know, and this happens all the time, when I'm like super locked in, I like text my auntie, hey, I need you to go get the kids from school. Can't do it right now. Like, I don't want to, got to stick to what I'm doing. And so it's always good to have that solid support system as well to help you.
Yeah, I was just talking about asking your support system for help the other day, because I know that that's something I struggle with. And oftentimes, it's not that you just want to do everything on your own, but oftentimes we kind of think, well, I know if I get it done, then it's going to be done right,
Yes.
So it's a little hard to delegate things or ask for help, but it is so important, I think, that we utilize, our support systems that way.
Absolutely.
So how would you describe your swagger? What makes Tami Tammy?
That is a loaded question. What makes Tami Tammy? My swagger, the way I navigate internally, the way I show up, the way I, if I'm not feeling my upper chipper self, look, I'm not going to be able to do it today. Just being able to be transparent and honest and authentic, but about how I really feel and what's going on with me, that particular day. I think that's what makes me. I've always been like that. Being able to balance everything, or trying to balance everything. And I think that's probably the Libra in me, but it's like I can get so obsessed with, okay, that's out of balance. Like we gotta do something about that, And so that's what makes Tami. Just
I am laughing because I almost asked you earlier on in this question what your zodiac sign was. I'm a Libra too, so everything that you're saying, I totally get. Yeah, and it's so hard. Like, we notice the little things, and then you get distracted, and it's like you go down a rabbit hole. So
yes, and I constantly have to remind myself, look, don't worry about the little small details right now. Write it down, because if you don't write it down, you're gonna forget. Write it down what that small detail is. Go back to it. Just step away for a little bit and go back to it. Because sometimes a lot of times, at least for me, when you step away and give like that reset to your mind, you can go back and it's like, oh, okay, I got it now.
That's where those naps come in for me.
Oh,
that's what I do.
I'm a serial
I step
napper.
away and take a nap, and then it's like, okay, I got a solution now. Sometimes
yes,
you don't realize how important that is.
Yes, absolutely. I agree.
So before we close out, I want to make certain that our viewers, as well as our listeners, when this is uploaded to the podcast, know where to find you. Where can they, connect with you?
Absolutely. So on Facebook and Instagram, it's going to be IMat Dream Brand. Okay. And if you want to follow my personal page, it is IMat Dream Girl Tami. Also, I want to plug in my brand ambassador, Darian. So follow her as well. Her name is IMat Dream Girl Dari, Dari. So follow her as well. She's my brand ambassador.
Okay. And guys, also I'm scrolling across the screen at the bottom, and IMat is IMAT, then that's Dream, DREAM. If you're looking for the website, it's just all one word put together.com, and then the Instagram is IMAT DREAM BRAND. IMat Dream.
Yes. And absolutely fancy one if I can. So I'm pretty sure I'm not sure if you just said that. So the website is www.imatdream.com. And also, if you want to purchase your orders or anything from Walmart, you just go into their search engine and type in IMat Dream Brand and all the products. We have 13 products that are live right now for your skin, hair, and body. So you can go there and make those purchases as well. And it'll get out same day, 30-day money back guarantee, like all the perks Walmart have. IMat Dream has through Walmart.
That's cool. And I'm glad you said that too, because y'all, we do want you all to go to walmart.com and support the brand so that it helps her to stay in the store longer. Like people need to see those sort of things. So that's how we can help each other and build that ecosystem I'm always talking about.
Yes.
So
very important.
Thank you so much, Tami, for coming on. Is there anything else you wanted to share before we close out?
No. Just continue doing what you're doing, actually. I admire what you're doing.
Thank
So,
you.
you know, I've actually been watching your podcast and watching your brand for a while now. It's just, okay, when it's time, I'm gonna reach out to her. And so I was happy to be able to do that.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate it and all the support. So, we may have you back sometime in the near future. Once we see how things are going, or once you're in your big, in the next big box retailer.
Oh,
So I
yes.
wish you all the luck.
Thank
And
you.
guys, if you all have any questions, I'm certain if you follow her page, you can find out more, and definitely support the brand. And it is, like you said, all natural goat milk. And I love goat milk products, by the way. I just
Uh,
put out some goat milk lotion this morning.
oh,
So
really? I'm gonna have to send you some samples.
okay, do that.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
send you some stuff. I'm gonna send you a
Okay.
package.
All right. Well, all right, y'all. Thanks for tuning in. We're gonna go ahead and go, but peace and blessings, and you all have a great Friday.
Thank you.
Thank you.